Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Strong Bad, super cool game for attractive people. Let's close this. Now, I have said a lot in the past, on several occasions, that I thought I was close to the end in previous episodes. And I feel that
it's
again.
Man's spiky Japanese cartoon hair, so blue and luxurious, without using any product.
I kind of think we might be near the end.
It has to go somewhere cool.
Let's climb up here and see where it goes.
What the ladder is a lie.
Well, whatever. So we're gonna get the sword, we're gonna try and take out the dragon, and that might be the end, but knowing these previous episodes, I'm sure there's some other, like, extra act that's gonna happen here. None of these episodes have been particularly short enough.
Extended memory management.
Well,
Raster interrupt 6.
Let's. How do I say that?
And the mighty mode 8. The power of the Trog sword is mine.
Yeah,
I guess.
You got the sword. Now you can slay the dragon.
More importantly, I'll be able to keep you from popping up and interrupting all my future scheduled makeout sessions.
I've got access to your online calendar in here, and I don't see any scheduled makeout sessions. Just pedicures and bubble baths.
Yeah, that's code for makeout session. Just get out of here and quit touching my stuff. The fabled Trog sword is mine!
So I assume there's nothing else here, so we can just move on. Let's move on to this area. So, it's not the length of this game, it's the quality of the stuff in the length of this game that's the problem. Yeah, so it makes the game feel like it's too long, but in all actuality, it's not too long. It's just, there's nothing fun to do. What you're doing is just not fun.
The Trog sword won't work on anything but the Trogdor.
Well, then that stops me from running around and trying to kill people with the sword. I imagine this could end in like 5 minutes, but I bet they're gonna make me spend another time.
Burn us all! There he is! The one with the Trog sword! Join him! He'll protect us! No, I won't. No! Hey, get off! Quit that!
So we have peasants now in our army?
Okay, fine. You guys can come with me. But don't touch any of my stuff.
Well, alright!
Where'd he go? Here, Trogdor. Come here, boy.
So
I
we're
just
in the
got a
King of
cool
Town's
sword I wanted to
castle
show
now,
you.
it seems.
Crap, he got away. If those screaming peasants were right, his lair's underneath the castle. I'll have to make my way through these seemingly endless hallways to get down to the dungeon and take him out on his home turf.
Strongbad, you read me? According to my intel, Trogdor is at the end of these seemingly endless hallways.
Homestar, what are you doing?
Just delivering your mission objectives.
I already did that just fine without your help.
Oh, I see. Well, can you do this?
Hey, cut it out! What did you do to my camera?
Man up, soldier! Your free country is depending on you! The people, give him the rundown!
So use WASD or the arrow keys to move Strongbad through the hallways, right mouse button to use Strongbad's current weapon, left mouse button to make Strongbad look at objects from Strongbad's army. And we've now got a Doom / Wolfenstein 3D reference going up over here. And apparently I can't turn. And if there are any secret doorways or anything, I don't think I'm gonna bother with that. Just make sure that works. Sword, light gun. Uh-oh, I only have 9 ammo. I just wasted one.
Alright, let's do this, mono e beefy armo. one of Trogdor's minions. A fiendishly difficult polynomial equation. Man, how big is this castle?
So we'll just go ahead and use that on the
Factor
equation.
this. A secret passage. This'll get me to Trogdor twice as fast. Since this castle's like a jillion miles long, apparently. Oh, so you're gonna play dirty, Trogdor? Sending one of your space circus catastrophe clowns at me? Well, two can play at that game.
So we've got everything, so it's really just a
Yo,
match
limousine,
game.
I got something to beam up here.
Whoa, Strongman! The space machine only beams up the bays!
Okay, so if clowns don't work, let's try the space bears.
Performing bear, I choose you. Sick 'em. Be free, performing bear. Raised them from a cub. I'm not gonna cry. Another secret passage.
And I imagine this
It's
just is
Nebula,
gonna keep going.
Limousine's second greatest nemesis next to alternative rock. They really should break this place up with a potted plant or something.
This is just lazy. Let's see. So we'll try limousine.
Quake in fear at the power of metal.
Rock on!
Another secret passage.
So I don't suspect you could have gotten this far without like some help, without everything that you needed. Interesting. This room is just empty. And this room is just empty. And this room is just empty. Is it really going to just have me walk? It says 200 feet from to Trogdor. Let's go ahead and try this on him.
No.
Let's try this then.
That won't do anything interesting. Take that!
There's actually
One
shooting
shot,
going
one
on here.
kill. Dear Poop Smith, auf Wiedersehen.
So I actually did have to
Finally,
shoot for a
I've
second
reached
there.
another room that looks just like all the other rooms. Could have at least added a torch or something. Trogdor, the fruit of my skills of an artist. And now it comes down to this. The epic battle. The final confrontation. The last cutscene.
So, sword on Trogdor. Let's not even beat around the bush here. Let's see what happens. Very He-Man-esque reference there.
Well, that was a little anticlimactic.
Yeah, that's certainly true.
Hooray! You came to rescue me! Whoa, have you been walking out? How much do you bench?
What are you... Whoa! I don't believe it! They finally listened to me!
You look pretty ripped.
And Mipmap! Check out all these polygons! And this blade! I'm the best graphics ever made!
Strong man.
I'm gonna have a moment, Homestar. Don't interrupt! Oh.
So now what do I do? Let's see. I have a pedestal.
Those pedestals are for offerings to the mighty Trogdor.
Well then let's go ahead and put a peasant on the pedestal then. So that worked. Did we just lose our audio though? Let's see, before we do anything else, let's just go ahead and save and load. Because I think we've run into the bug yet again, where we've lost our audio. Let's see. Am I gonna sacrifice everybody? See? So yeah, same stupid bug just randomly happening. So peasants there. More peasants here. And I assume what I'm trying to do is get them turned around in the right direction. See, that was a bunch of people burnt. Is there something else I could do?
After you've tasted my blade as the main course, for dessert, how about a little red-flavored fluffy puff translucent dessert-related substance?
Silly dragon, I'm inflammable!
So now we see some weak spots. That's cool. Let's go with the weak spot with the sword.
Aha! But I'll never be able to reach the rest of the weak spots unless I get Trogdor to turn around.
So it seems like nothing else can be done here.
A red square, or blue square. It's on the shot put.
This is really dumb to have this whole setup
I
though.
better not use my snakes here. They could slither away.
It's really not in the mood with a point-click adventure. It's not that this has really even been a point-and-click adventure very much.
Take that!
It's just been kind of this weird mix match of ideas. I don't even know if I can completely call it anything. I'd say it was an adventure game, and there was point and clicking on rare occasions, and well, on the rare occasions adventure actually, but mostly it's just this vehicle, and that's it. Let's see. I'm confused as to what the final thing should be. Health kit, let's give it to him. Why not?
That doesn't need healing.
Light musket. Trying the light musket here. Apparently I just ran out of shots for the light musket. Quest thingy.
How can I possibly kill a creature with so much majesty and so many repeated textures? The Trog Sword only works against Trogdor's weak spots.
Yeah, but I don't see any more weak spots. Let's just put a peasant on every pedestal. Okay, I see a weak spot now. I did not see that before. Okay, whatever. Get that weak spot.
The Trog Sword only works against Trogdor's weak spots.
Again, take out the sword. Gotta start all over again. Peasant on the pedestal. sword on the weak spot.
Straight shot!
What a terrible way to end a point-click adventure game. Just completely break out of what your game was supposed to
Yay,
be.
you win!
Just for a dumb joke. Which is, I guess it's in
Oh, man.
line with the
Now
rest
what?
of the game. It's
Makes
just
you bit
dumb
of
jokes.
Loafing, Dragon.
This video game reality is caving in all around us and fast. We better find a fast way out of here. And fast.
So we have the key that he said would work on Trogdors.
Finally!
And just in time, too. This cave is gonna collapse at any moment.
We better get out of here. Me first.
Hang on, I gotta save my game. Nail.
Rhino feeder. Ah!
Are you okay, Strongbad?
I just had the most pixelated dream. And you were there. And you were there. And... Uh-oh. You were there.
And that's the end of the game. So 0 attempt to connect episode 1, 2, 3, and 4 to episode 5. Completely different run thing. Did the music just cut out, or are they simply just not playing music? We've had that happen several times too. It's just, man. This certainly makes sense. Okay, the music is coming back, so. It certainly makes sense that they probably couldn't afford to do any big deals like they can now. They're doing Minecraft Telltale is doing Minecraft games. A Batman game is on its way. The Walking Dead games, the Game of Thrones game. They've got really big companies that they're willing to work with them now. Obviously, when this game came out, none of those companies were probably giving them the time of day. And it's probably a great thing because they would have made pretty bad games. In fact, even some of the games they make now aren't exactly the best, and they are still very much just this like weird, we're going to try and suck as much money out of you, that way we're going to sell you a game in 5 pieces. And it's this, not only is it the worst of DLC, it's also the worst of pre-ordering, because if you get the first episode, then you basically have to get the season pass to then get the whole game, so you gotta pre-order all of that or wait until the entire game is out, which is the best way to do it, always, regardless of it. There's no big turn here, there's no big interest, there's no wrap-up on this at all. Obviously, as I review this, I have to point out, I don't like Homestar Runner. I don't think any of that was funny. I don't think if I went to their website and I did look at it for like half a second, I don't think that animation style would catch me. I don't think their comedy would catch me. I bet when Homestar was coming out, it was during the time of Flash animations and we didn't have things like YouTube, so that probably made it seem a lot better than it really is. But by 2016 standards, it's not funny. It's not, I'm pretty sure it's not funny. I'm pretty sure it's not good. But even when you look past all the comedy not working and the characters not working and me not caring about any of that, when you get down to the core of this game, the core of this game is just bad.
Something to cheat. You'll do it this time.
On top of the game being bad, it's almost certainly not the right vehicle for Homestar Runner. And that's really where you need to think about as far as new Telltale games, is a Batman game as a sort of dialogue choice adventure game the right style of game? Or should Batman be an action game? You have to ask yourself that question. Maybe they can do it really well, but maybe they can't. The Game of Thrones game works pretty well in the concept, maybe not as well as in actual delivering there. The Walking Dead certainly worked as a conversation dialogue choice game, but other games don't really work. Did the Jurassic Park game work well as a point and click adventures dialogue choice game? No, absolutely not. And it never really had a chance to either, because Jurassic Park is an action movie. It should be an action game. And so I think they're getting a little too ambitious. Speaking of ambitious, I'm not gonna be ambitious. There's no more areas. I really thought that we would have 4 more areas, and there were, but they just weren't labeled on the map. We got nowhere near half the collectibles. Let's see, 3 out of 13 totally. We got 2 of 6 costumes, so missed a bunch there. Apparently we need to free 4 of 8 ghosts. Never saw that. And 2 more peasants need to be burned. And then I assume what would happen with the ghost is that if I came back here, there'd be more ghosts running around in this house. But no, that wouldn't make sense either. I would suspect that a lot of these collectibles are just in extended play. The whole extended play concept here is pretty bad too. This whole thing has been miserable. It really has been miserable. I've had a run personally of just bad games, and this is just another one on that
Time
pile.
to shred some serious air with my totally gelatinous bromide gelarchy.
Let's see if we can really play this.
Do, do, do.
I don't think if I think I can. But it has been really unfun playing these 5 episodes. It's not been great playing several other games. It's not been a good time for video games either. Here I could really play this and press control and dodge it, and so there is a game here. It doesn't get you anything in your awesomeness meter or anything like that. Actually, this isn't the worst by far of the games that you could have played. Let's see. So let's go ahead and quit though. That one almost feels like a game there. But yeah, I don't know what you can do with this. I guess you can just assume this is why there haven't been any more Homestar games. Or the closest thing I could say is this is probably like what my experience would be with South Park, the Stick of Truth, or the new game that's coming out. And that's probably just everything I need to know to tell me not to bother playing those games, besides the fact that they're kind of long RPGs. Is like, if you know going in the comedy's not for you, you shouldn't buy the game. Now, that being said, if somebody loves Homestar Runner, should they buy this game? No, I would say still no. There's no gameplay elements in this. You would have had to... I would say the only people that probably should play this is somebody that's been through every single animation on Homestar, loved it, watched it 3 times already, has everything memorized, and just wants that extra little bit. And if that's not you, I'd say stay far away from this game. There's just like nothing here. Overall, the menu system is an improvement from Sam & Max Season 2. You can see that because it does have graphics setup that goes up to 1080p. It does work on a Windows 10 PC. Graphics quality was high by default, but it does start at 640 by 480. So it's still missing what modern technology would do, in which it would detect what the resolution of your screen was already at and just change to that. Sometimes, however, the number of hints you would get were by default low, sometimes they were medium, sometimes the subtitles were on by default, sometimes they weren't. Sometimes the music and the audio that one time was broken, so it would animate incorrectly. The audio by default is voice up to that level, and then everything else up to 2. That seems super unbalanced on the audio settings. Hmm. The tutorial is a good idea. I'm glad they had that, but in the main menu's interactivity is a little annoying, but it also tells you what you're in for. And then the other episodes had a preview in the back. This 8-bit theme for the final episode's not great. I would still stick by my thought that episode 3 is probably the only good episode in the entire run, and then the others are range from downright horrible to barely acceptable. There really isn't too much to say here. It's like very light, very, very light on the point and click adventure. Horribly wrong and out of tune comedy for me. So I went through this entire game and just didn't really enjoy any of it, and it's just kind of a personal thing. But then when I get down to the objective criticalness, as objective as I can be, the game still isn't good. People may love the comedy of this, but then the game is still not good. So they didn't do justice to Homestar Runner. Very much like they absolutely did not do justice to Bone when they made one episode that was about an hour long, and then episode 2 that was considerably longer, but then they didn't finish any more of it, and so the story was just left hanging there. This was certainly an early Telltale game, but I've heard rumors that even the Minecraft game got added a 7th episode full of YouTubers who play Minecraft just so they could squeeze some money out of the kids. And it's certainly unacceptable to me that Telltale would sell Minecraft story mode as a 5-episode or 6, 7, 8-episode game when you're talking little kids and they want to just run through it. It should have been a totally complete game. They should have broken from their standard mold. It should have been a good game too, and I haven't played it, but so I don't know that. But trying to suck money out of people is wrong. They need to get away from the episodic idea completely, and they seem so attached to it. Also, when you have 5 episodes, that usually means they hire 5 different writers, which hurts the story. It easily could have been 5 different writers in this game. It wouldn't have changed much because there really was no story anyways, but it seems like they're just a cheap video game maker. And then that's kind of scary in itself, is when you have big properties like The Walking Dead, Batman, Back to the Future. They did a good job on their Back to the Future game, actually, so I can't really say that anything wrong with that, but it's scary when you have a company that's slightly lazy getting those properties. And for Batman in particular, WB owns Batman, and WB will totally use Batman to rip off their customers. All you have to do is research a little bit into the release of Batman Arkham Knight and how buggy and awful that game was for so many players. And so you got to be good stewards to your IP, basically your individual intellectual property. You got to treat it right, and I'm afraid sometimes Telltale doesn't. But anywho, we've been going long enough. That's it for Strong Bad's super cool. Was it Strong Bad's cool game for attractive people? Awful name. I've been making fun of it and getting it wrong actually, but it is just an awful name. Strong Bad's cool game for attractive people. Way too long. I get that it's a joke that it's that long, but man, nobody would have been able to walk into a store and purchase this game with a name that long. Nobody would have remembered it. Anywho, that's it for this series. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment if you want to, and watch every second of my videos. All that helps me out. It tells YouTube that my videos are worth watching. If you want to support me even further than that, you can click on my name Rydo. That'll take you to my main YouTube page. On the right there's a blue button that says support this channel. You can click that and make a donation. Also on my main YouTube page is a playlist tab. You can click that and see a playlist for every other game I've ever covered. I'm sure you'll find something there that interests you. I've mentioned a lot of Telltale games that I've already covered, so if any of those interest you, go check them out. None of them are quite like this. I won't say that the Jurassic Park game is better than this one, but this is like the second to worst or worst game from Telltale. A lot of them are very good. And then finally down below I have links to all my social media sites, so friend and follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, Google+, friend me on Steam, friend me on battle.net. All those links are down below. That helps me with those services, and it helps you see when my newest videos are available. Thank you for going through this journey. Particularly this journey has been quite a difficult one, so thank you if you watched all the way through, and thank you if you just watched this episode. And in general, have a good evening. Bye.